Hi, Tauno. Hi, Tilda. I found a book that has a penguin in it. And since I take care of penguins, I thought I would read it to you. So this book is called The Penguin of Ilha Grande. Every morning, Sujao drank his coffee, took a walk, and swam in the warm water of Praia Proveta in Brazil. Then one day in May, he heard children shouting. Sujao rushed over to where they were gathered. A penguin! A little penguin lay on the beach covered in black goo. It could hardly move. Sujao carried the exhausted bird home. He tried to rinse away the thick oil, but the water ran off the slick, stuck-together feathers. The penguin's heart beat wildly. Sujao tried dish soap. He patiently washed each feather. It worked. Sujao's grandson asked about the dindim. He was trying to say pinguim, the Portuguese word for penguin. Sujao smiled and named the penguin Dindim. People in Proveta came to see Sujao's penguin. Local fishermen brought fresh sardines. The hungry penguin swallowed the fish whole. Honk! Everyone loved Dindim, but if anyone other than Sujao tried to pet or feed him, the penguin pecked them. After 2 weeks, Dindim was strong again, strong enough to go home. Sujao loved Dindim, but he knew that penguins belonged to the wild. Sujao held Dindim on his lap one last time and stroked his sleek feathers. He fed Dindim one last sardine and walked with him to the water's edge. He gave the penguin a tiny push. Dindim dove into the water and splashed in the waves, but then he swam right back to Sujao. Honk! Sujao's heart thumped with joy and sadness. The next day, Sujao took Dindim far out to sea in a fishing boat. He placed his hand on Dindim's head and looked into his shiny black eyes. He placed Dindim in the water and took the boat back to shore. Sujao didn't know if he would ever see Dindim again. He returned home. And there was Dindim! Honk! After that, Dindim stayed with Sujao. Every day, Sujao brought fresh fish. Every day, they swam together in the ocean, and every day, they showered together in the little blue house. For many months, Dindim slept in the yard. The gate was open, and the path to the ocean was clear. But Dindim stayed. One hot day in February, Dindim's feathers began to fall out. Every day, Dindim lost more of his ragged, worn-out feathers. He became a very lumpy-looking penguin. Sujao worried that Dindim was sick. Dindim wouldn't eat, swim, or take showers. Sujao didn't know what to do. A few weeks later, Dindim started growing new feathers. It took almost 3 weeks, but finally, right in time for Carnival, Dindim had a shiny new coat. He was waterproof again and ready to swim. Dindim was different. He stopped sitting on Sujao's lap. Every morning he swallowed his sardines and went straight to the beach to swim. One day, Dindim dove into the water with Sujao as usual, but this time Dindim swam deeper and farther than before. Sujao tried to keep up, but his arms grew tired. He had to turn back. He stood at the edge of the beach. He waited for a long time. Only waves splashed against the shore. Dindim was gone. Sujao trudged back across the sand to his little blue house. Silence echoed against the concrete walls as he took a shower and ate his dinner. He lay in bed listening for the flap flap of Dindim's wet webbed feet and a hello honk, but all he heard were geckos in the night. The next morning, Sujao sat and drank his coffee. His lap was empty, but he remembered Dindim's silky feathers and the beat of his heart. Sujao walked on the beach and swam in the ocean, looking and listening for Dindim. Birds circled and cawed in the sky, but no penguins honked on Pravetta Beach. The village children asked where Dindim was. Sujao just shook his head. One morning, 4 months later, as Sujao stood digging his toes in the sand, he heard a sound that made his heart pound like the waves on the shore. Honk, honk! Sujao peered down the beach. Could it really be? Dindim! The penguin waddled as fast as his little legs could carry him right into Sujao's arms. The two touched bill to nose. When they got home, Sujao gave Dindim 12 fat sardines, one after the other. Then Dindim headed straight to the shower. Honk! Dindim lived with Sujao for 7 years. They swam together, showered together, ate together, and walked on the beach together. Each year, Dindim changed his feathers, honked goodbye, and headed to sea. For 4 months, he lived in the wild. No one knows exactly where he went, but every year, right before Sujao's birthday in June, Dindim came home. And that's the end. Well, there's a little bit of a story about where, because this is a real story. So it says, where is Dindim now? In 2018, after 7 years, Dindim did not return to Pravetta. There are many possible explanations. Dindim was a young penguin when Sujao first found him. After many years with his human friend, Dindim may have gotten old enough to look for a mate. He might now spend his summers raising chicks of his own. He may spend his winters farther south, closer to where he breeds. It is also possible that something happened to Dindim. Penguins in the wild face many dangers, from predators to oil spills. Most wild penguins who survive to breeding age, like Dindim, live 10 years or more, so we hope that Dindim is alive and well wherever he is. It's a pretty cool story about, I just hit myself in the face. It's a pretty cool story about a penguin. Bye, guys.